Thank you and welcome back. That was Cynthia Irivu. Irivu. No, it's E-R-I, and then the vo is at the end. Irivu.
So Cynthia.
Yes, Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get her on the show and have her pronounce her name. That way,
Yeah.
But thank you coming back. And we have my guest, Miss Sonia Purdy. I am happy to have you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Thank you. And earlier we had a comment from Melody Merchant who said, "Don't put me in a box."
All right.
She's feeling that.
Okay, yeah. So you're not just a playwright at all.
No, just a writer.
Okay, just a writer and an author and all of those things. Yes, yes. Now, I want to talk about Table for One.
Okay.
All right. Now, just looking at this,
Okay.
I had a different mindset that what it was, and it was totally different. And I was very happy that I was wrong.
So what was your initial thought?
My initial thought is, I'm just.
How am I interviewing you during my interview? That's funny, but go ahead. What was your initial thought?
Right, because
we family, so that's just how it goes.
She flipped that real fast, didn't she?
Down?
So they can see your face.
Okay. I'm so used to these type of shape things. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. I caught up with it. I told you that these mics are intimidating. I did tell you that a couple of times.
Get you back in your purpose.
Okay, right. And knowing somebody in the biblical way. Yeah. Okay. It's always in my face. It's always in my face.
Just there.
It's just there. Every time I try and say something, it's just there.
Yes.
In my face. It's just there. I told you. See, she feels me on that.
I do.
Big black
is I don't know what. Okay. Just big and black.
Okay, big and black. See, your mic is not. Oh, sure. Okay, Table for One.
So we gotta go back to what was your initial thought?
My initial thought is you were just going to say, it's okay to be by yourself and go on about your business.
Okay.
But it was much more than that.
Okay.
It was much more than that. And I stopped. I love the questions in chapter after going through the beginning that you have in chapter 5 and 6.
Okay.
That's awesome, and that's going to help me in my growth of page 25.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, and those questions. What are the key things? Moments, people, and situations that stand out in your memory regarding your childhood. That is awesome, because when you do interview me and a few, my key people is the chapter that I wrote about in my book.
Okay.
And so what inspired you to write this to help us?
Really, the book is dedicated to my mom, and she was a part of my inspiration because I saw my mom sacrifice so much for her kids to make sure we never went hungry. We never worried about a roof over our head, clothes on our back. No matter how much she had to struggle, we didn't know that this was a struggle. To us, we was living good. We was good. But I did notice, when she had holes in her pants and she wore the cheaper shoes or whatever because she wanted to make sure we had what we needed. But then I thought about it later in life, so after you make all them sacrifices, you do all that for years on end, and then now it's just you. How do you start back focusing on just you? But when you've been trained to be about everybody else for so many, especially if you're married, you've been conditioned to be about everybody else. And when you're in the midst of that, your kids need. You can't come home from work and be like, I'm just tired today.
Right.
Nope, you got to make dinner. You got to make sure
Your
homework done. You got to make
baths.
sure your husband know, baby, I still love you. Yeah, you the king.
Right.
You this,
Prop
you
him
that.
up.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
even when you go to the bathroom, I would see when my sister's kids were young. They walk right in there. Mama, what we eating for dinner? She like, hello, I'm using the bathroom. It was no sanctuary. So when I went to go eat one day, the lady said, table for how many? I said 1. And she looked at me like, what's wrong with you? You gonna eat by yourself? Okay. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to this table for 1. Like she was insulted that I wanted to treat myself. And even the waitress was like, will anyone else be joining you? And I was like, no, it's just me. So I would like my salad. I would like my soup. And she was like, so you really gonna eat by yourself? And I was just like, is this really a problem? So I thought about it. Like, when were we taught that there is something wrong with treating yourself?
Well, and did the patrons around you? I know
they was looking at me like,
okay.
She lonely, she depressed, she can't find nobody. And I'm sitting there like, I'm so happy that I don't see what y'all see. But then as I talked to people, and they were like, yeah, don't nobody do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. If I even think I'm gonna do something, I gotta take at least 2 kids because my husband ain't gonna watch all 3 if I'm gone, or I just be like, forget it, because everybody wants something, and then I gotta figure I gotta pay 15 for this, I gotta pay 10 for this, and then if I take my friend, they ain't got no money, so now I gotta pay for them, and so it just be a big production. And I said, no, I'm gonna take us back to a place where we start saying it's okay for me to take 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it needs to be, to focus on me. Because if I'm not good, guess what?
Nobody else
I ain't no good to nobody else. And when you're the part of the leadership in a business, a home, whatever, and you're not good, guess what? As much as you might think everything is good, your team ain't good. Your children are not good. And you think they don't see, they know.
Okay. So what hurt you the most? See, I'm asking you your question.
I know. You like, what? No, let me go back to page 25.
25.
Why you all in my business? Okay, so you said what? Okay, what hurt me the most?
Yeah, regarding to your childhood.
Oh, childhood.
I'm combining there. I got to be a little different. But when you were focusing on your mother taking care of everybody, that seemed to bother you, to hurt you the most, that she wasn't able to love on herself and have the time and kind of lose her own identity when she was raising you.
Well, because it bothered me because I knew I didn't ever want to be like that. But I knew in her conditioning as a child, that's what she saw. My grandmother did the same thing.
Of course.
Her mother did the same thing. My grandmother was in a foster home when she was a little kid. She was separated from her other 8 siblings, and she was a twin. Didn't even know she was a twin until she was an adult. And so she was in that. It's about the family. I got to do everything for them, and I can't be concerned about me, until it just wore her down. And I'm like, when are we gonna get it? We have to take a moment for us. We have to.
Right.
Because
did your mom recognize that when you first approached her? Because she is conditioned to be like that, and she's seen generation and generation. So here you are, daughter, coming telling me, well, what I've been doing is wrong.
She looked at me like, who the hell
are you?
Do you think you are? She used to always call me, you think you somebody psychologist, and you ain't nothing but 6 years old. Who you think you are? Oh, it was a battle with us.
I can imagine.
She was just like, you ain't even lived life yet. How is you telling me? But I kept telling her, I just saw that it was, my mom can sing. She loves music. She loves to sing. And I saw so much more she had the potential to do. But it was like, I have to give all that up. It's for my kids or whatever. And I kept trying to explain to her, some of those things you don't even have to sacrifice. We enjoy seeing you sing and be in your beauty. And when you come from that, we as kids feel like, oh, wow, we took her from that. Oh, we're so bad. Why did we have to come and ruin that for her? We felt that because that was her sanctuary. That was her happy place. But she couldn't be in that place because she had to be about everything and everybody else. So we battled with that because she'd be like, you don't know my business. You don't know what it is to be a grown woman. You ain't even a teenager yet. What do you know? But then as time progressed, she'd be like, yeah, you was right about that. Yeah.
Okay.
I did lose that.
So
you was right about that.
So you recognize this at a younger age, not right now?
Oh yeah, I've always been this person, and so this book has always been in me as a kid because I always felt I guess a part of my story is I grew up with a grandmother named June. And I had my grandmother Vernice and my grandma Juliet, and we were friends. It wasn't like just go over to Big Mama house and whatever. Like this was like literally my friends. So I would go over their house and Sonya girl, let me tell you what Miss Harper said, and then this and that. And I'd be sitting on the porch like we all grew up together, and I'm 3, and they'll be like Sonya, don't you realize you a kid? And I'd be like, well, when you look at my friends, it don't feel like I'm a kid because I'm sitting here with Grandma June, Grandma Juliet, Grandma Vernice. Then I had my great grandma Velma Eubanks. You'll be like, okay, this little girl's a little different. Then I had my aunties, and so June's girls, and then there was Juliet girls, and then there was Vernice, one girl, and then my uncle. So I was always around older people, and I always watched them and just observed. And so in that, even at an early age, I felt like somehow we've been conditioned to so many things and made to believe so many things. I just looked at it and felt like I got to be a part of the generation that says that's not okay. Mm-hmm. That's just not okay.
Were your grandmas receptive to your change? That didn't come too much with your
They were because they were older at the time, and they felt like, man, if I can go back and do what you're saying now, then man, things could have been so different. So they were more receptive, but my mom was that younger generation who was still in the moment. So it was like, well, I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to go take myself to dinner and the movies, and then I got to come home and cook for y'all and do this. So I would help my mom. My mom was married, and I would tell her husband Eddie, like, listen, my mama coming home, she gonna take a bath and she gonna go to bed, and you gonna leave her the hell alone.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, he'd be like, okay, Sonya.
And how old were you?
I'm
I'm just trying to.
I was about 10 at the time.
I'm just trying to understand.
I was about 10 at the time, and I was. I didn't. And well, see, Eddie didn't like to whoop girls, so he. So I would tell Eddie, like, nah, you gonna leave her alone. She gonna be good today, and he'd be like, oh, okay, Sonya. Well, what we gonna eat for dinner? And I go in there and I make dinner. I was, the second mom, I guess. And so I go make dinner, make sure Eddie was good and the other 2 kids was good and we was good. And when my mama came home, everybody left her alone.
I'd have got slapped the next week. Oh, yeah.
See, I knew how to talk and when to talk. Me and Eddie had an understanding.
Okay.
So that wasn't something I could say to my daddy. But when it came to Eddie,
okay.
Me and him could have that conversation, and he knew when to back up.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I would have lost time, and that was the first time travel when they slap you into next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that in every situation. But it was
last week,
right? It was something different.
You got to catch up with what's happening now.
But I recognized then, like, we was putting so much on her that we just needed to back up sometime. And I understood that was her husband, but we needed to back up, give her a minute.
Okay, and so it was effective.
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah, because the problem was she didn't know how to receive it because she wasn't used to it. So when she came home, it was like, why is it so quiet? What y'all done? What y'all break? Who got an F in school? And it's like, no, we just saying, relax. And dinner's cooked. You want me to heat up? Well, what you put in it? It's like, y'all trying to kill me. It's like, no, we're just saying, enjoy yourself, relax. She couldn't relax. She had to make up something to do. So yeah.
Okay. Did she feel that how she was raised was wrong? Or did she feel different once you started pointing out those things to her?
Well, in talking to my mom and my aunts and quite a few other ladies, they realized there were some things that they were missing, that they wasn't given to be able to. And I realized that even in talking to women now, we weren't given that.
No.
We weren't taught that it's okay to love on you. If you do that, you selfish. You ain't you this and that. It's like, no. At some point in time, I can't keep pouring and pouring and pouring out of me. I'm gonna get empty. And when I'm empty, then what? I can't help you, and I can't help me. So what do we get out of it?
And when your mom finally got what you were saying and was able to execute that, did she have any regrets doing that? That she could have did it differently sooner?
Yeah, I mean, she did. She said she regret that she didn't see some things early on, and now that she's home, alone. She don't have any babies. She got grandkids, but she don't have any babies, or anyone to take her time or pull from her, so she can pour into herself. So she's learning now. Learning how to be okay with, hey,
dating yourself.
Me. Yeah, I can do what I want to do. I put my money on me. I ain't got to worry. And so we get conditioned to, especially when you working 3 jobs or 2 jobs, trying to maintain, and you get to that place where you don't have to work as hard. You don't know what to do. Because it's like, I'm so used to going. I'm so used to stressing. I'm so used to being under pressure. Now it's like, I can relax. Like, how do you exactly do that? So,
and what would, not to try and put your business out into the street?
Oh, okay, too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm all right with yours.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say your mom. Did she have her education?
Oh yeah, she graduated high school. She didn't go into college because she was a part of that time where women were taught, no, you go get you a husband. You ain't got time for no college and all this stuff. And they even taught you biblically, women wasn't supposed to do higher learning.
Exactly.
And so she comes along from that time. So she did graduate high school, but she didn't go beyond that.
What was her? Was she encouraged to have some hobbies besides singing? Because that's a truly wonderful gift.
Oh yeah. She is such a talent that anything she wants to do, she's gonna master it.
Okay.
So that's why for me, seeing her come away from things to be more, family focused and whatever, and work so hard at jobs or whatever, that for me was where I saw like a true impact on her, because it was like, she, like, anything she wanted to do, she can do. Even to this day, anything she wants to do. Well, if she want to build a tree house, she'll do it and make it great.
Okay, that's wonderful, because what they taught us coming through high school and stuff was our home ec. Learn how to cook.
Yeah. Oh, she took home ec and all that. Yeah. Oh, she know how to sew, all that kind of stuff. Because you was supposed to be a homemaker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You was supposed to know how to take care of the kids and be a good wife and know how to shut up and all that stuff.
I rebelled.
So many did, but then you got rebuked for doing that.
I did.
So it's like, where did we get that from?
Yeah, I was the one. I guess I was just a few minutes before you doing the same thing, going, I don't like this.
Right.
I don't want to bake a cake. I want to be in the shop with the boys, because they making things that you can use, things that you can see, doing things with their hands. They are being creative. And there was no creativity in baking a cake.
Right. Like, okay, who want to do that?
Right.
All day.
And I wanted to join the baseball team. And they was like, no, you a girl. Exactly. I can't swing a bat. Believe me, I can.
And see, I was that tomboy, because I was just like, listen, you ain't about to have me barefoot and pregnant and whatever and just having your way with me. I want to run track. I didn't want to play basketball because I was too short, but I played football. I, did kickball and, just anything I could do to be active. But in order to be active, it was pretty much boys. So then you get to a point you starting to develop, and the boys like, oh, she got a big booty. Yeah, we want to play football. All right. And I'm like, I can't even play football no more, because they feeling on my booty. They ain't grabbing the flag. They grabbing me. And this a whole different game now.
Okay. Right. So, this touch football. See, that's a little.
Exactly.
Can you think of a moment when you might have lost yourself?
Oh, I can think of so many. Especially in a relationship, because you start to conform to, I need to be good for him. What does he need? What does he want? What do I supposed to pour into this relationship? And I forgot I'm supposed to get something out of it too. But I was taught, no, you're supposed to pour into him, be everything for him, be his helpmeet, be whatever he say, be whatever he want. And in me doing that, it was like, well, do I get to want anything at any point in time? So I felt like I really lost myself in relationship because I became whoever he told me I was at the moment.
Right.
It even got to so bad in my relationship, he started to dress me.
Oh, my.
And I didn't like nothing that he liked.
Kanye?
Man, I didn't like nothing that he liked. I'm a sensuous person. He was provocative sexy. So his thing was I had to just show all my skin and my booty and my boobs. And I'm like, that's not my kind of sexy. But I was supposed to do it because that's what he wanted. He was the man. He was this. And I felt I totally lost myself in that. So I woke up one day like, yep, I'm out. Mm-hmm. Clothes in the car. See you, bruh.
Right.
I'm good.
Now, your Table for One, where did you get that title? How did you come to that? It's an excellent title and it's a beautiful cover.
So like I said, when I was at the restaurant and they kept asking me, so how many? And I was like, table for one. Like, how many times you gonna ask me the same question? Mm-hmm. Table for one. Nobody else is coming. I'm good. And they like, yeah. So here's your table. Do you have any other guests coming? And I said, okay, I'm gonna say this again. Mm-hmm. This is a table for one. So then when I went home and started writing, I said, oh, okay, that's the book. That's the title of the book. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now, I watch Frasier every day, mm-hmm. and he had a situation the same way. He was just going by himself. Mm-hmm. And the restaurant Major D, he kept on saying, you're not expecting? He says, no, table for one.
Right.
Well, they didn't have a table set up for one. So when he was seated, the waiter literally took all the rest of the things off, but it was so loud, just table for one. And it was so loud with the clinking and the glass that the whole restaurant mm-hmm. just turned and like, oh, right. What's there's nothing wrong with dating yourself.
Can we play her commercial?
You have a commercial? All right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Set it up, Sonia.
Okay, so.
Good evening. How many?
Table for one.
Table for one. Table for One, written by acclaimed book author Sonia Purdy, helps you to deal with the ills of self-reflection. In her book, she deals with the necessity to make yourself a priority. She also encourages you to take control of your happy. Pull up on your purpose like an insurrection. Listen, I'm telling you, this book will be your new obsession. So without hesitation, make your reservation. Table for One, written by Sonia Purdy. Table for One. Available on Amazon or Table for One. You can call 404-594-4772. 404-594-4772.
All right, man.
I'm saying Larry Whitfield did that thing. That was so great. Yes.
I mean, most people when they have a book, it's just a book. But Miss Sonia, she got, she over the top, and I'm gonna hang on. All right. Oh, man. And now let's talk about, and Miss April, put your little mic to your mouth because you're in this book too. I was gifted last week when we was at the vagina, talking about vaginas. That's a good subject, vaginas.
You was at the vagina. I was at the show.
Oh, yeah.
How about I was doing the interviews? I wasn't even at the show.
I kept looking for. I said, Miss April, you didn't come in to watch and listen to the vaginas. It was so many vaginas. And she said, no, I was doing the interviews.
I was producing the interviews. Larry Whitfield did a phenomenal job.
Yes, he did.
and,
Absolutely.
Yes, he did.
We was producing the videos, and what was so amazing about me was a lot of women was leaving saying, it's too many vaginas in there.
Okay. It was
No, I went to the restroom and the lady in there was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till I get home. It's too many angry vaginas. Okay. I was like, but I really gotta go. She was like, I'm gonna wait till I get home. Too many angry vaginas. I was like,
Wow.
it was the first half was 10. Nothing wrong with the play itself. We're not saying that. This is
Right.
just our the views and opinion. It's solely on DVD Worldwide. But there was no good vaginas. I almost said the P word. Oh Lord, have mercy.
You know, they do have a show called that.
Oh, really? I almost
P.
said it.
It's called The Mighty P.
The Mighty P. I almost said it was nobody there with good. It was old ones, you know, a lady 72 that had never looked at it. I mean, what is she looking at it for?
right.
I'm not quite understanding, you know. And then
Well,
it
I
was
guess because who is that lady? She is the sex guru. What is her name? The old lady. She's been in existence forever.
is she the one that came up with the mirror looking at it?
And she said that every woman should know her stuff by look. Should take the time to look and examine your private parts. And so, and she said, and to appreciate the gift that God has given to you. So,
I appreciate my vagina, but I don't have to sit there in a mirror
Right.
and you know.
I'll just be like, girl, you all right? Okay.
Right. You
We
know.
just going on about our business. Like,
And if it's
I think she has a book called The Power of the P. She don't use the vagina word. She uses
she used the P word.
yeah, she uses the P word. You know her because she's been on all kind of talk shows. She's old as heck. She's old as dirt.
what a way
Okay.
to describe her.
I'm just sorry.
Okay.
She about in her 90s now.
Okay.
And she's supposed to be the guru, the sex guru.
No, it
and she's
ain't
been
Dr.
on-
Ruth.
Not Dr. Ruth. Is it
Did
Dr.
she
Ruth?
passed away?
She's still
No, that's
kicking.
Dr. Ruth then. It's Dr.
Oh,
Ruth.
okay.
Oh,
The Power of the P.
Oh,
Isn't she the older
okay.
lady with the glasses?
Yeah, Dr. Ruth. Oh,
That's
okay.
her.
Okay.
She said that every woman should take a mirror and go look at herself.
I mean, if you got some problems, but
No,
if you
Right,
got
because that's
no issues,
yeah. Because if I have an issue, then I
yeah,
look.
No,
check
she
and
said
make sure I'm
Every
good.
woman's supposed to take a mirror and go look at herself.
I think that's when you ain't used it in a while. You're just like, are you still there? You haven't talked in a while.
Well, let Mr. Glad tell it. Me and Sonya ain't used it since Jesus times.
I don't need to do all that. Mm-mm.
Now, tell me about your chapter in The Color of Women, the anthology of truth, tragedy, and triumph.
My chapter is called I See a Rainbow because I am such a versatile person and there's so many layers to me, and so I felt like I couldn't, once again, can't put myself in a box that I'm multifaceted. So
Okay. And how is it a little different from your table of one?
it's a little different from table for one because I'm really talking about a specific time in my life where I experienced going through rape at the age of 8, which was in the basement of a church. And so I specifically talk about pretty much the whole entire experience and what that took me through, and then how I later was able to go back to that same place. And he initially started this rape in front of the mirror and wanted me to face the mirror to tell me how ugly I was. And he said that I acted like I was bigger than I was, and I needed to remind myself that I was just a girl. And so I didn't know, like, what was all that supposed to mean? Like, he was trying to minimize me, like, you know, you just a girl, so you just supposed to take some D and just stay in your place, and that's just it. So why this occurred in front of a mirror and all those things, I didn't know if that was supposed to mess me up psychologically or what. But I went back to that very same mirror and I was like, you didn't win. So whatever you was trying to accomplish, you didn't win. Mm-hmm. I even looked at the place on the floor where he laid me and left me, like, you didn't win. So I'm good. So I talk about that in that chapter.
And that's awesome. There's that mirror.
I don't know what he thought he was doing in that mirror, and he made me face it as he began to do what he wanted to do. And I just looked at myself like, this is not going to define you. Mm-hmm. This is not going to limit you. I'm not going to let him have that.
How long did it take you to come to be able to talk about it? Yeah, both of your eyes is rolling. And
Nobody.
Now, if he come walking up in there, I'm going to grab something.
I'm looking at your eyes, her eyes. I'm going, well, okay. I see that.
Okay. So which one was you saying?
I lost my train of thought there too. we talking 2D. We opening doors and windows, window blinds going.
So how long did it take to
be able to talk about that happening to you? Did you immediately tell someone?
No, I don't think I talked about it. That happened at 8. I didn't talk about it until I was about 16 because this was a person in the church. And I really felt like I just know how people can be, like, don't talk about the minister. He was, a minister in music. And so don't talk about the man of God and this and that. And I knew it was going to be some rebuke. It was going to be he would never do that. And so I just felt like I didn't want to do that.
You asked for it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Oh, my God. You was fast. And so
how can you be fast at 8 years old?
8, right.
You still playing with
dials,
and
you ain't thinking nothing about
ice cream
like that.
and all
that. You thinking ice cream. You thinking, you're not even thinking in that manner.
Sex is not nowhere on your radar
at all.
At 8 years old. So how can it be your fault? How can you be fast at 8?
That's how that was their response, because if they respond any other way, then they would have to take action on the minister of music
and
or whatever pedophile and hold him accountable. So they had to flip it so that
But at whose expense?
At the victim's expense.
At whose expense?
Their daughter, their granddaughter, their niece.
And I'm thankful for Sonia being so candid. But I think about the fact that evidently he was strong enough for her to know this wasn't his first time doing this to somebody. So what about the victim that wasn't strong like Sonia? What about them? What about, did this cause a woman to commit suicide later on in life?
Right.
Because he was putting her to a mirror and making her feel less than. So no matter what any other man could do, that still was in their mind that they was less than, and it caused her to lose her life.
Right.
And so to keep his dignity as a minister of music, what expense was that?
Because there was too many people that would have to be accountable for not saying nothing the first time, and it's like, oh, now this is happening to somebody else. Now we got to admit we knew or whatever. And it was more so, hey, just keep it on hush. We're gonna pray you be all right, and that's that. So when I was 16 and I did talk about it and it came out, that's exactly what happened. Oh, you got a Jezebel spirit and you must have wanted it. What grown man gonna try to sleep with an 8-year-old? And I'm like, so nobody is gonna say, hey, Sonia, how do we help you? Are you okay? Do you need counseling? It was like, you did it. You did something wrong.
What was you wearing?
Exactly. Why was you down there?
Right.
What do you wear?
You was.
I mean, I'm not calling her old, but back in the day, what do you wear at 8 years old? You to a church,
A choir
I
rehearsal.
promise you, she
Jeans
gonna
and a
have
shirt
on.
on.
She gonna, and if it's the
And
Baptist
it's
church,
a Garanimal shirt.
if it's the
Right, exactly.
but if it's the Baptist church, she had on tights
Oh, okay.
and a skirt and a
Yeah,
blouse.
that's exactly what I
Right.
had on. Tights and a skirt.
Tight skirt and a blouse. So how you acting fast with some white
You
tights
ain't even thinking that's
or some black
sexy.
tights?
Like,
Because that's
who's
all the
thinking
tights
that?
we knew is black and white at the
Yeah.
Baptist church.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So black or white tights, black skirt. I'm just throwing this out there because you know Baptist churches believe in that black
skirt and that white little blouse.
Well, so how provocative are you with some black or white tights, a black skirt, and a white top? How provocative is that? Help me out with that.
Because
Is that
he
Victoria's
didn't.
Secret's new thing?
Right, children's wear.
Right.
Yeah, but that's one of the mindsets. Even when you go to the police, what was you wearing?
What was you doing? Why was you down there?
That's their first. What was you wearing? Did you have on cologne? Did you say something to him?
Right.
What did you do?
And if you didn't
to
want it to
invite-
happen, why didn't you say nothing right away?
Right.
Why didn't you go to your parents? So.
Did you say no?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say no? You think I said yes?
Right.
You think I wanted this invasion in my body?
Exactly.
But
At 8.
at
At
8.
and he 40-something years old.
At 8 or 16 or 22.
You mean to
Yeah,
tell
right, at
me-
any age.
At any
and this
age.
is my thinking, and this is just also these are the views of April Berry and not of Diva D. You making money. You can't buy peace.
Watch out now.
You making money. You can't go on Woodward and buy a piece. 8
But
Mile.
it's something in the psychology of it, being able to take
power.
somebody's innocence.
Yeah, it was
being able
power.
to put your presence, like you putting your mark on them. Now, why a person wants to do that is what.
Yeah, because I'm sure it was
don't
some
understand.
Sister Sookies in the choir that was available.
He had a woman.
Watch.
for free. He could have got it for free.
I'm saying,
sure
but
coulda.
it was something like I said, from the things that he said, it was something he had against me. He wanted to show me, even at that age, you're not as strong as you think you are. You're just a girl, and that's what he kept saying. You're just a girl, and I'm just like, and so what that did to me, it made me really shy off from people, because I'm like, what am I putting off? Or I'm giving off to people to make them feel like I got to show her. Oh, I got to get her. And I was just like, well, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Okay, what does that mean?
Were you ever able to confront him?
Yeah.
And he lied and he said he didn't.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I would never. And then he did all the crap. I would never hurt someone like that. I just want to be like, oh, if a bus could run you over right now, I would be so grateful.
If God could just take your tongue
Man.
right now.
That was something. Yeah, he had a whole meltdown. I would never hurt somebody like that. And everybody like, see what we saying? He would never do that. Like, oh, so I'm
so
going to lie.
You're going to lie.
At 8
At
years
8
old.
years old.
What the
You're going to
world?
create a situation that was so degrading
Absolutely. And for what purpose?
and you just
needed
looked
attention,
around.
I guess.
Yeah, you just looked around and said, "Oh yeah, him."
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah. I
Right.
need to have this story with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I talk about that in that
My
chapter.
thing is, somebody had to see you not on that organ
For some time.
for some time. So didn't nobody ever put 2 and 2 together? Well, he was off the organ.
Well, see, he was the drummer, so he would leave from time to time, go get him a little drink, whatever. So they kind of was used to that with him. But what I didn't understand is why nobody realized I was gone a little extra time, especially since I was the choir president and one of the, main altos or whatever. Nobody noticed, like, Sonia been gone for a minute. So let me go check and see. But they were so into the song, like trying to get it right for Sunday, that that was the main focus. So I'm laying there on the floor listening to Yes, Jesus Loves Me. And I'm just like, I sure hope he do, because I don't know what's about to happen after this. I'm either going to go crazy or I'm just going to nut up or do something. So I'm going to need Jesus to love me for real, for real. So
Did you ever tell your a cousin or someone? Because I know you can't. At that time, you couldn't tell your parents because it would have been murder at the church.
For sure, for sure.
No. You just
I
dealt with
kind of
it.
suppressed it and just, try to just move forward and not be trapped in that moment. I knew it was going to come a time where, you just can't keep suppressing something like that. It's going to come out in some kind of way. And so I realized it was affecting me a lot more because it was causing me to really be afraid to really be myself, like, really be able to be okay with, like, I want to do this and I want to travel or I want to do that. I'd be like, no, you're just a girl. You're just a girl. So, yeah, so I was 8. So it was like, what other 8-year-old can you talk to that's going to give you some good advice and be like, girl, this is what we need to do. This is the plan. They ain't know nothing either.
Did you drop out of the choir?
No, I was the president. So it was like, I drop out. Other folks might start dropping out. My mom was over the choir. So it was like, there was no way to drop out. You going anyway. You going, it was that, you going to church 7 days a week, whatever. You going to sing.
Did you throw the hymnal at them?
Did I throw what?
The hymnal at them.
I wanted to throw some drumsticks, something. And then he come to church. Hey, Sonya, I just be like, whoa, keep me near the cross, please.
Still saying, how do you know what he's done to you?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like, oh, just get over it.
That's crazy.
Girl, going on. Stop playing.
Because
just don't even look at the white elephant in the room.
Right.
Act like it don't even exist.
That's very hard for a child to process. It's hard for a woman to process.
Yeah.
And then I have to keep looking at you.
Right.
And looking at you.
The
and
sad
listening
part
to you.
is not uncommon.
Right.
That's what's really horrible. It's not an uncommon story. And it hurts me because I've heard so many stories, and it's like, where do you go? And even when I've heard of kids who did go to their parents and say, so-and-so did this, mama, or whatever, and then the mother or father does react just like you said, now daddy in jail. Now I feel bad because my daddy in jail, or my mama in jail because they, call themselves defending me, but the perpetrator is still in service.
With his lies under the church roof. It sounds like the Catholic Church. Okay, strike that off.
The views of this show is not reflective of the Vent Radio Network.
We got so many disclaimers out there. This is a wonderful book, and this was a collection of memoirs and stories created by Tina Harris, and those were Tina was one of the hosts of Office in the G.
In the office with Miss G.
In the office with Miss G. So I'm going to have her on a little later. And do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm supposed to have a play coming up, hopefully the end of this year, if we can find a location, because a lot of the auditoriums are really booked here in Michigan. So I want to do a play. I have some more books coming up, and some my company, So Purdy Publishing, is going to be publishing other authors and helping them get their books out, such as Elder April Berry. And then we have a few others that are coming out. We have a book. Sean P. and I will be doing a book expo in August of this year. So it's quite a few things coming up.
Okay, awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned Miss Elder Berry.
Because she has a chapter in that book.
She has a chapter in that book. Is it one of them cameras on you, Miss Ma'am?
Don't have to be.
Nobody ever sees you. They think I be talking to myself, but they hear your voice.
Oh,
but
Lord have mercy.
Flip one of them cameras around so you.
Flip it.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Have mercy, Jesus.
Oh yeah, just yeah, that one right there is good. Yeah, don't take me off. I'm the host.
You're the host.
Okay. It's not. It didn't show you. All right. Okay. We got hair. We got a seat. All right.
Here I am.
All right. Now this is a treat for the DVD Worldwide. She has never been faced on on my show.
Supposed to be seen.
Well, right now you're
Not
not,
necessarily
right,
so.
right now you're not a producer. Right now you are an author.
Got to turn that camera back.
Okay.
So how about we do this? Cause Glenn got the little disco thing going on. How about if I switch seats with Sonia for a minute, and then Sonia be right here, and then you can ask me, and Sonia can ask me whatever. How about that?
All right then.
That'll work.
Do
I
do
don't know
do.
why Mr. Cannon
Do,
wanted
do,
disco
do.
ball.
Because he has the show Grown Folks Nation.
Do do do.
He uses that for.
You are watching the DVD Worldwide show, and in just a moment, we're going to have Miss April Berry sitting in the seat. Hey, Miss April.
Hey.
You are in. You are in. Everyone, this is my producer, my beloved. She has taught me a lot. We've almost been together a year. Almost
You gotta
a
flip
year.
the camera. This is on the preview.
And so I want to thank you. And you're in the Color of Women. You have a story in here. Tell me about your story, Owning My Own Truth.
Yes, my chapter is about owning your own truth, not the truth of others or what others think of you and others say about you, but owning the true essence of you. And so that's the foundation of my chapter. And I'm very candid as an elder. You know, I'm very candid about my walk as being an elder, as being a woman of God, and owning the things that are true about me, knowing that God is able to forgive and to be, you know, we can go through repentance, but then just recognizing my truth, not a layer that somebody has placed upon me, but really owning the true essence of April.
All right. And I saw the common factor that as you're doing your walk, you're doing it your way.
Yes.
You know the way that they said, the way the godly one. And not all the time did you walk in the godly steps.
Right, because we have to really come to the knowledge that every choice that we make and every chance that we take was not orchestrated by God. That some of the chances that we took and the choices that we made were our own choices based on whether it was flesh or whether it was our own desire or whether it was, sometimes we think as an elder or as a preacher that every choice that they make, God just bam, gives them some type of divine revelation that, we're walking in the heavenlies of heavenlies 24/7. And we're not. We're average people. We're average male and female. We bleed and cut and do things just like the regular person does. We're not on a platform. We're not on a higher podium where people could look up to us and say, oh, wow, let me honor. No, we go through our own transitions and we have our own issues because we're human.
But we were raised that way.
Yes,
We were raised to, if you had an elevated position in the church, we should pattern ourselves and watch what you do and mimic what you do. So that would be a crush to me, that I think that looking at you and you made your decision that God didn't ordain that, Miss April, that you're walking in your own flesh, that you're doing it your way.
So what happens when you see a person that you have put on this platform and you put on this pedestal, when you see them actually being human? What happens? It's a big letdown.
Yes.
But that person is being human. So we're not superheroes. We're not like
We were taught
like
that you were
Superman.
I mean,
Right.
you were like
Yeah,
you don't
you
call
were.
the bishop John.
Right.
I'm like, hey John, how you doing? No, then
No.
everybody will look at you like, excuse me, who is you talking to?
Right.
First of all, you ain't talking to my bishop like that.
But
Not
what
at all.
happens when you see that they are human?
We don't.
It ain't no such thing.
What you mean you don't?
no such
We see it all the time. And what happens?
Who taught that? What school you went to?
know.
What
Miss
Sunday
April,
school
where
you
you
went
going?
to?
What happens? And in that, I think I am showing people that you should mimic what I'm doing. The reason why I say that is because so many times we live this holier than thou type image that when the average person goes to problems based on their choices and their chances, they think that they're less than. They think, oh, I'm going to hell because I don't see this happening to the leaders. I don't see this transparency to the leaders. So when I'm making these choices, I must not be good enough for God to deal with. And then they put on this thing where they'll say, I'll come back to Jesus when
I get cleaned up.
when I get cleaned up,
together.
when I get it together. But God don't want you to come to him when you get it together, because if you can get it together, you don't need him. He wants you to come to him just like a dirty fish, just like a dirty sheep, with all your issues, with everything that you have. God wants you to come to him like that.
Well, I think in this pandemic, that's what confused a lot of people, because they learned God wants you where you're at.
Right.
I don't even
Yes.
need to be in the sanctuary. I don't even need to be in the assembly. I need to know God wherever I'm at. And I need to know that God is within me. So wherever I am, I'm carrying God with me. Not just when I'm in the presence of certain people or when I'm quoting certain scriptures. That's why I have to hide the word in my heart, because it has to live and exist in me. Not only when I'm in a certain place. And so many people learned that in this pandemic that I think it confused a lot of people. And it's been hard for people, because it's like, what do I suppose? This ain't what we was taught. So what do we do with this? And then you have pastors who are fighting to bring people back, not realizing, Pastor, how many times did you call me to check on me and my kids, or to check on us, to and then at the same time, how many times did you call them to check on them? We realized there was a lot of stuff we've been doing and been taught that it just wasn't right.
Right. And I know when I got ready to be a member of this great team, I went to tell my friends, and one of the girls on TikTok, they called me Mama D on there. And she said, well, what time are you going to be on? And I said 10 o'clock. And she says, oh, no, because that's your church time. You're not going to be able to go to church. I said, baby, the church is in me. Don't you know that?
And you go to Triumph. Triumph has church 24/7.
95,000 locations.
Right. So you miss 10 o'clock. Guess what? There's a 12, a 1, a 2, and even a 3 o'clock.
Even a 3 o'clock.
And I don't think it's anything wrong with people of a like mind and an understanding coming together, because they may have some information that you don't have that may uplift you and cause you to see something differently than what it was before. But at the same time, when we start being more about man than we are about God, that's where we run into a major problem. And we start putting those people on a pedestal. We start putting them in a place where they have that burden of constantly trying to pretend to be something to satisfy the masses,
And they're
as
put in a
opposed to-
place that they don't belong. I
Exactly.
don't belong on a pedestal, because even the Bible says the servant is no greater than the master, which is letting me know that I don't care what kind of title I have, I'm still a servant. And my lifestyle, I should not pattern my lifestyle to think that I'm better or greater than somebody. And this, me being transparent, not only has helped people to understand that even as an elder, even as a woman of God, that no, the Holy Spirit don't dwell with me 24/7. Because the Bible says the Spirit shall not dwell with you always. But then also to let them know that God cares even when you mess up. Even when you do crazy, God will still restore. God will still he still thinks that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And there's nothing that you can do to change his mind about that. I even talk about the candidacy in regards to what my grandmother said to me.
Yeah, I saw that.
That, if you know about something and you are aware about something, that's not a mistake. That's premeditated. If I know that having unprotected sex, I may wind up pregnant.
Vagina monologue.
Exactly.
I can't say.
She had a happy vagina.
She did. Her grandmother taught her about that. That happy vagina.
But if I wind up pregnant, then that's not a mistake. That's premeditated. I knew the consequences. I knew what would occur if I have sex unprotected. And so, I deal with that. I deal with the fact that no, when I was having sex, it wasn't an accident that he put his stuff where he put it, and that I was meeting every thrust. Yeah, the elder. Yeah, the woman of God.
She said thrust. Did you?
That's so funny.
See,
So funny.
we didn't.
Well, she had practice. She was in prayer on her knees, so
Yeah.
she knew how to.
Yeah.
So
She knew how to get on her
We
knees.
didn't say anything like moist.
Yeah,
But she
she laid prostrate
down.
before him.
So funny. But it gives a candidacy about owning your own truth and valuing who you are regardless of the choices that you've made and the chances that you've taken. It gives clear candidacy about how I suffer with, and Sonia, she's my sister, and she can tell you I suffer with sometime having too much sugar. Not in the gay.
Right, I'm about to say, don't put me in that conversation. I don't know what you about your sugar walls.
I love men.
Sugar wall.
I love men.
I saw too much sugar. I didn't. I didn't equate when you talk about sugar wall.
When I talk about it's so funny. When I talk about too much sugar, where we sugarcoat our lives and we want our lives to be so sugar coated that we don't see it for what it really is, and that too much sugar will allow you to live in a spiritual diabetes state. Where no, you have to have that salt of your life. You even have to have some bitterness of your life in order for you to have a balance.
Right. Because you say too much sugar is just as damaging to my truth as bitterness. As women, we are sometimes set up for heartaches. As children, we're given baby dolls to play with and to nurture. When I was little, Barbie was a homemaker. See, right there.
We went back to that.
Okay, we done went full circle back to that again. We were taught to, be, Susie
The
little.
happy homemaker.
Yeah. We were given dolls to perpetrate. This is what it's supposed to do. Well, I didn't have all what Barbie had. She had a Corvette, a dream house, a camper.
I was just about to say, but the men weren't taught, and in exchange, this is what you supposed to supply. They was just taught, this what she gonna give you. Okay, but who was telling them their responsibilities?
Right. I never saw Ken work. Did
Ken ain't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
Ken didn't
That's
even
why-
have a full penis.
That's why I can't. I don't know where this show is going.
and he got everything.
He did.
But Ken wasn't even acceptable for my Barbies to marry.
Mine's dated G.I. Joe.
That's-
Yeah, mine did
what
too.
mine-
Yeah, G.I. Joe had a job.
I told my grandfather.
He still didn't have a penis. But.
Because
Oh yeah, no.
I told my grandfather, because everybody else thought that, well, you should just get a Ken doll. And I told my grandfather, I don't want my Barbies to have no Ken doll, because I don't think something wrong with Ken. And so he took me to get G.I. Joes, and they thought that he was crazy. Well, you're teaching her how to be a boy. And my grandfather, no, I'm teaching her how to get what she wants. She don't want her Barbies marrying no
I won't say what he said. I had to stop.
What the grandfather say?
I don't know.
Kids.
Oh, okay.
She want her Barbies to marry men of power and men of stature. And so my grandfather's like, so why would I not buy her them? Because then hopefully she'll keep that same mentality when she grow up, that her men are going to be men of power and of stature.
Now you have in here, time out is good. We don't take the time to thoroughly analyze our decision. We want everything now.
Yes.
That is a very dynamic statement. Because I find myself, not my generation, not your generation, but my children, they want what I have now. My son, my daughter, they see what I have. Oh, you're traveling and you're doing this. But they forget about the part where I had to go to work. They want it now. Is it just their generation that want it now?
No, it was ours too.
They're just now have more accessibility to think, hey, all I got to do is get on TikTok. All I got to do is do this and just, run my mouth real quick, run that money. I can be my own record producer. I can have my own. It's stuff I could do quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I ain't got to put in. I ain't got to work 3 jobs. I ain't got to do all that stuff you had to do. I can get my stuff right now. And in some cases they can. But the problem that teaches them is you don't get it in the dirt no more. You don't do the grinding to get to stuff. You're not setting up for Social Security. You're not setting up to retire. You're not waiting 32 years on a watch no more. You're not doing all of that. Now it's like, give it to me now.
Right.
I won't mind now. Life too short.
That's like even, and Sonia can testify about this, even producing shows. So many people have said to us, oh, it's easy. I can do what Sonia and April can do, until they start doing it. They figure I don't need to work under nobody to do what Sonia and April do. I can just go ahead and do it, because they want it right then. They don't want to do the work of it.
Right.
And then when they start doing
When
it
it fall apart.
then they calling Sonia or me saying, well, how do I do this and how do I do that? And I didn't know I had to do this, and I didn't know I had to do that. Well, that's that same mentality of wanting it right now, not willing to do what's necessary to prepare yourself to go where you desire to go. Same mentality.
Now, Diva D, I know you're enjoying April's book,
Yep.
but you got about 5 minutes, and we
Yep.
never got into your story. So I need to know nothing personal, but I'm a Eurostar. What in the world is that
a Euro.
about?
What is a Eurostar? Okay, flip. A Eurostar. That is the train in Europe. It's the fastest train. Over. You okay?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Eurostar. It's the fastest train. You may have to come back, and
She talking to me.
you may have to come back and interview me. But it tells of the story of me and 2 of my high school friends, and we've been friends over 45 years. And my one girlfriend, she has her master's, and she's a teacher, public school teacher, and she's a choo-choo train.
What
And
makes her a choo-choo train? What makes her a choo-choo train?
she goes about moving slow and precise. She's not fast. She won't move quickly. She won't move without having all of the thoughts and all the alignment just in place. And so she's slow and steady, just slow and steady. My other girlfriend, she's the Amtrak train. Sometimes she derail.
These are the views and opinions
Of the
not
Diva
of
D.
the radio, but of Diva D.
She will have somewhere to go, and she done backed up on the train, on the track, and we call her, hey, we supposed to be at this place or that place, and where you at? Oh, I'm at the hair store, and I saw a sale next door at so and so. So she's on a different track than the rest of us, but she get it done. And then when I come along, I have a fast purpose. get it done, move on.
So what kind of train is that?
That's the Eurostar.
Um,
It
It is
go.
the fastest train in the world. It is a high-speed train connecting Great Britain to continental Europe. It travels from London to Paris or Brussels to Amsterdam in just a few hours. The Eurostar goes under the sea. Oh, you go down. in the
Yes,
sea
I go down.
through the Channel Tunnel, which is 31.5 miles.
Where the
It's
sun
dark when it goes under the water, like going through mountains. The Eurostar travels through mountains without hesitation.
Goes right through. And the three of us, we get to the end at the depot. We all leave differently. We all enjoy things differently, but we don't leave one another. And and if one of us falter, and it's that Amtrak.
You saying here, my new fame at age 62 is just phenomenal. I was named Super Fan of the Month with Detroit Pistons basketball. My story was on all social media and posters were hanging in Little Caesars Arena. On the same day, I was offered a TV, radio, internet show, my own show. Wow. I am a journalist and producer of my own show. Wow, the third power. I then was asked to host a community fair, and Danny Glover was a special guest. I had a ball. He granted me an interview, which was sealed with a what?
Kiss.
Oh.
Right there.
2 of my shows were nominated in the Midwest Video Music Awards after being on air for 7 months. I was honored to be nominated with my peers. All of these reasons helped me to become a Eurostar.
Watch out now. That sounded pretty good, didn't it?
Nice.
See, you should have her do a audio portion of your book
I would love
with
it.
music.
Absolutely. Would you please?
I sure will. And this book is called Unlock Your Hidden Treasure. It's Time to Shine by Dr. Mary Seegers. And contributory authors are Dr. Mary Seegers, Peggy Evans, Leslie Slade, Amari Miller, and who?
David D. Worldwide.
Oh, my God.
D. Ivy Coates.
Deanne Jordan, Josephine Roach, Melinda Wilson, Melissa Squirewell, Dr. Brenda Brown, and Barbara Gentry Pugh.
All right.
Get it, ladies. Y'all have an event coming up, the book launch.
The book launch we're having on March 24th from 5:30 to 8:30. And please, all of my family, I want you guys there. And so, Miss Sonia, you how can anyone listening and watching reach you? And where are you at 4 o'clock on Sundays?
At 4 o'clock on Sundays, I'm right here on the Vent Radio Network, Empower Sundays on Book Nation, where we highlight Black authors, and we certainly hope to have you on one of these days.
Oh, watch
that
out
would
now.
be such our pleasure. And so they can get the book right now. They can email me or inbox me on Facebook or Instagram, Sonia Purdy, so that they can get their copy. They can get the digital copy on Kindle. And then I will have an audio version coming out soon. So my tour for the book starts in June. So even if you have a podcast or you have a church or an organization that you would like us to come out to talk about making yourself a priority, please get in contact with me. We would love to do that.
Absolutely awesome. And your email address?
33purdy@gmail.com.
Boom. Miss April.
I am good because we have to go.
Yes.
All right.
We have to
Well-
make way for chemistry.
All right. Well, that's my show today. I hope you enjoy our little family show today. I did, especially with the vagina monologue. It was, the DVD show, you never know where it goes. Miss Sonia, do you know that every time she introduces everybody else's show, she has a pretty much set what she says about their show. When she come to my show, she go, oh, you just have to watch. She never says anything.
You had a church ladies in here. You got dropping it like it's hot
Twerking
for
for
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, twerking for Jesus. You got the men, Glenn and Sandman, like, oh Lord, she's twerking for Jesus again.
Yeah. Okay. Miss April, can you take us out? All right.
Take us out.
All right. If you enjoyed this show and all other show, please support us here at Vent Radio. Miss April, give the Cash App if you want to send in.
Empower Sunday 1
Cash App, $Empower Sunday 1.
And if you need to reach me, my Cash App is $Diva, DIVAD, 512. And that's it. That's my time. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, ladies, for participating. And it was wonderful having you there. And I see you real soon. Love you.
All right, love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.